Hi everyone. This video will be used to help you make the car rim. So I'm going to model this just like we did in class. I'm going to go a little bit slower, but it'll be recorded so you can go back and watch it when you need to. So based on the instructions that we have in the document here, and I go to the second page to see this outline here, that's what we're going to work on. So the first thing we do is we go to create a new sketch. So click on your sketch button and then click on one of the planes. I'm going to click on this plane here. And now we're ready to start sketching. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create one line over here on the side, this dotted line. We're going to create that. That's a construction line. So I'm just going to go up here into quadrant 1. Under line type, notice your sketch palette. It may just be closed down here. So just double click the arrows or click on the arrows. Click on your construction line tool. Make sure you're in line, and we're just going to draw a vertical straight line. Doesn't matter how long it is. It's not going to be part of your object. So just draw vertically, right click, OK. Then turn off the construction by clicking it again so it's not blue anymore, and you can close that window. So now I'm going to use these dimensions in our diagram here on the left, and I'm going to recreate it here. So I want a vertical line straight up and down. We're going to put dimensions, so don't worry about what the measurement is right now. Right click, OK. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first dimension here. I may not dimension it as I go. I'm going to put my first dimension here so I can go ahead and get a size reference. So click on Dimension tool, then click on the line till it highlights in blue, and pull it out. So my dimension, according to my document here, is 0.59, and I'm at 2.2 inches. Oh, by the way, yes, you need to change it to inches. So if you need to, go to Document Settings, click the arrow, hover over units, and then this icon says Change Active Units. Click there, and you can now change it from centimeters, millimeters, meters, inches, and feet. So we want to go with inches. And then you can minimize that again. So we're at inches. I need 0.59 inches. Now that line got really small, so I'm going to definitely have to zoom in. I might go ahead and put a distance between these two. Over here we see on the left-hand side, our distance from the red dotted line to the edge of my part is 0.17. So let's do that. Distance, dimension from the red dotted line to the edge of my part, 0.17. Now to clean this up a little bit, I'm going to hit Escape to clear my modes. I'm going to grab this dimension line. I'm going to drag it in and put right next to my object line. So it's this blue object line here that I'm going to reference everything from. I don't really need this red dotted line anymore, but I'm going to leave it there, but I don't need to look at it anymore. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And this is the main line, right? So now we're going to go across the bottom. So go to your line tool again. We're going to come across horizontally, 0.05. We're going to go up vertically. And this is going to be different from the diagram, because in the diagram you see there are already fillets. Well, we need to draw it as a rectangle, and then we'll go back and fill it at the end. So we're going to go up to a straight line. We're going to come over, and then we're going to come back down, making sure we have our perpendicular markings in the corners so that we know those are 90 degrees. We also want to make sure this bottom line is at the same level as this line here. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go ahead and extend that like that for now. Okay, so let's put some dimensions on here. So this line here, highlighted in blue, is going to be 0.42. 0.42. That automatically adjusted this line. So it should also be 0.42, and it is. The line coming across here is 0.24. I notice I have two highlighted. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to hit escape to clear that mode. Go back to dimension again, and then click on this one line. There we go. 0.24 should be my distance. Everything's looking good. If I want to make sure these two are level with each other, which I do, I'm going to go to constraints, and I'm going to use collinear. And if I click on this line is collinear with this line, and it'll make sure they are level with each other, and that's what we want. All right, so let's get our line tool again. Let's go ahead and finish this line out a little bit. And it's going to go out, and then it's going to go up, and that's going to come back over. Right click OK. So go ahead and draw that shape. I'm going to make the adjustments over here. Okay, so I need a dimension. Oh, nope, that's three different segments. So let's escape. Go to dimension again. This time I'm going to click on this corner and this corner. I thought I hit escape. All right, I did not. So dimension here to here.
Anthony Caven, please report to the bus lot.
0.10.
Anthony Caven, please report to the bus lot.
The height here, 0.05. Okay. Looking at my next set of dimensions over here, this here, I've got the 0.5 vertical. I need a 0.5 here. So from this corner to this corner, it's going to be 0.05. And I'm hitting escape to clear those modes between each one so that I don't have extra lines or I don't have extra dimensions. It's okay to hit escape, and that clears your modes. Then we'll go back to the line tool, and we'll go up and go up and go up and go up. Make sure it's vertical. So you see I can change my angle measure. Make sure that you see the degrees over here on the right. Make sure that that is 90 degrees, and then you know you'll be okay. All right, now we're going to dimension that line as point. We see it over here, 0.49. 0.49. Oh, I have two decimals. Don't do that. There we go. If it's in red, it means you've got an error. So I had an extra decimal. That's why. And then I hit OK, and we're at 0.4. I must have. There it is. 0.49. All right. Almost done. Let's look over here again. We have a line coming across, starting at this top corner, coming across, going up, coming back up. Oh, I clicked rectangle tool. You see what I did up top? I made an error. So just back arrow twice. And now we can go to line tool this time. Make sure I have the right tool selected. That's always useful. Go up and come back over. And I'm clicking right click on my mouse, and then OK is what I'm doing to close that out. So now we have, it looks like a dimension of 0.05. Okay. And then the height also of 0.05, just like we had at the bottom. And then we have This distance here is a little bit different. This distance is 0.07. All right. So now we're going to go up and then come all the way over and then back down. Nope, nope, nope. Rewind. Sorry. We went up. We're going to come over and then come down, and then we finish it as a little L shape. Click those together. There we go. Now, we'll put in the dimensions so that you can see them. This little edge is 0.07. The dimension for this top line here. All right, my computer's running a little bit slow. Dimension is 0.29. Looks a little narrow. That looks a little narrow. So I have here we go. Here's where my error is. Everybody take note. This dimension did not include this line segment. That's why I'm off. So I'm going to rewind here. If you've got it from this line to here, you're fine. So I'm going to rewind again. I'm going to dimension now. I'm going to select the vertical line to make sure I get that. And I'm going to come all the way over to the other vertical line. That's what I need to make sure is dimensioned at 0.29. There we go. Now it worked out. So those are all the dimensions for the basic shape. Now I'm going to go in and put my fillets. So I'll go to the fillet tool. My top two fillets, as it says up here, my top two fillets are 0.02. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click here. And in my fillet box here, I'm going to type in 0.02. Hit enter. And then underneath, I should have a fillet of 0.11. So fillet tool again. Click on this corner and this corner at 0.11. Now we had some warping that happened. So let's do this. Rewind. Let's do one at a time. So this one should be here. Let's rewind again. Back to the rectangle. I'm going to fillet the left at 0.11. Hit enter. And notice the symbol it gives me right here. That's tangent and that's tangent. We want those. We need those. So that's good. Now we're going to fillet again. This corner separately. 0.11. And we have our tangent mark. We do not have it over here. We do not have our tangent marks this time. So what I'm going to need to do, well, hit enter. Let's see if they pop up. Yep. So hitting enter on 0.11, they popped up. So when you do them at the same time, it didn't work. But when I did them separately, it locked them in. And that's what we need to do. All right, now that is it for the outline of this cross section. So what we've done is we've created the cross section of the part. So finish sketch. Go ahead and rotate your cube. Click on the top right corner here. Put it in isometric view. Instead of normal extrusion, we're actually going to revolve. Over here, it says profile. One has been selected. That's the blue part. It's already been selected. Axis. We need to select an axis that we want it to rotate around. So it's going to rotate. This is the axis that I want it to rotate around. And as soon as I click it, magic happens. And that is the rim that we want. At this point, save what you have. Lock that away somewhere. And save it again with a slightly different file name. Maybe the first one you save it as rim original or rim blank. And then the second one, you're going to save it as rim final. and this is the one that you get to play around with. So on this surface, you'd create a sketch, and this is where I was showing you in class how to put circles or triangles or your name or whatever you want on here and create a pattern. So let's say I'm just going to do circles. I can create any shape I want. I can use polygons and whatnot. So let's say I just do a circle. And then I finish that sketch. Go back to isometric view. Finish that sketch. I extrude cut this circle so it cuts the circle out of my rim, right? Then I go to create all the way at the bottom or near the bottom pattern, circular pattern. It says faces right here. I'm not copying faces. I want to copy features because I've cut the hole. That hole is a feature. So I'm going to copy features. Then it says select. I'm going to select the feature. Then it says axis. So what do we want this to rotate around? The center barrel. So I need to select axis, the center barrel here, or it could be here, or it could be here. Any of these circles. Okay? So I'm going to click on the center. And notice it's already put 2 ghost images. I've got my original and 2 ghost images because my number's set at 3. Well, rims are usually 5, 6, not 56. Sorry, 5, 6, 7 maybe, 8 maybe, 9 maybe. It's up to you. Depends on your diameter. Then once I have that, if I want to play around a little more, make it a little more unique, I can put another sketch. And this time, I'm just going to put a rectangle in between. Maybe I put a rectangle like this. Or maybe instead of a rectangle, hit escape, maybe I do, I could do triangles this time. Let's do it. So once I have a rectangle drawn like that, I should be able to manipulate it. Oh, it's locking it in. I was hoping I could rotate it because I'd like a slice that runs right there. Maybe I do it this way. So this is fairly vertical, so I can do this. It's not going to be perfectly symmetrical, but you're going to get the idea. So now that I have that, I'm going to finish sketch. I'm going to go to isometric view again. I'm going to extrude cut that rectangle out again. I'm going to create another pattern, selecting this feature, select the axis again, and go for 9 again. And it took every rectangle and put one in between every circle. It's not, you can tell there's a gap difference, so it's not perfectly centered, but you get the idea of the things you can do and create. So once you have your basic rim, kind of do your own thing on this front part. All right. Well, good luck and get this submitted. Oh, one more thing. Once you're done, save what you've got. Obviously, you want to just save it, rim 4. You want to save what you've got. And then we want to export. So go to File, Export. Rim 4 version 1 is fine, but instead of an archive file, I want to open this drop down up, go all the way to the bottom to STL. And it's going to take time. It says it may take a few minutes. So export, and then that will be an STL file. The STL file is what you're going to submit to Canvas. So once you've created the part, you've saved it, go into Export, File, then Export, change it to an STL file, and click Export, and it may take 5 minutes or so for it to get it from the cloud and make all the calculations, and then it'll give you an STL file. That's what will be uploaded into Canvas. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.